Welcome to M Galleries, currently hosting The Art of Olivia Jupilat, taking you through a walk through the woods of Josephine, the late wife of Napoleon, just right outside of Paris, in a little town called Rueil-Malmaison. I draw a lot of inspiration from the forest. It's pretty quiet. You just hear the birds, the footsteps of runners, a lot of French going on. It's a pretty wet environment, so there is a lot of moss, a lot of snails. Today we're lucky because it's absolutely gorgeous and the sun is finally out after 3 weeks of rain that caused a huge flood in downtown Paris, which closed down the Louvre and the Orsay for a week and destroyed some artwork in a museum in the Loire Valley. I've been able to visit a lot of the museums in the center of Paris. And one of the most inspirational museums for me was a gorgeous little building built back in the 1800s, incredibly detailed, that hosted, it was a paleontology wing of the Museum of Natural History that featured over 500 skeletons of different animals. Prehistoric and up to date. I must have stayed there probably for about 7 hours, sketching and drawing all of the different skulls and teeth and claws and jaws and trilobites and ammonites. The collection was just out of this world. I thought that when I had moved to France, I'd be painting a lot of historical monuments and important people and the architecture. But I just continued painting bones and telling a story. That is the work that I'm currently working on right now. Creating environments that tell a tale. An evolutionary, transcendent tale of deep down in the earth. I began this path when I moved back to New Jersey in Hopewell, in my hometown, after spending some time out in Oregon. And all of a sudden I had my home back, my friends, my old friends, the comfortable environment that I grew up in. It was amazing. And I started painting roots, ironically. And the roots kept on growing deeper and deeper and deeper into the earth. And eventually, one of my last paintings, there weren't any roots left. It was just the center of the earth with prehistoric, millions of years old sea life and skeletons, and they were deceased, but the environment that they were in was still alive. I've tried to incorporate flowers and seashells and algae, plant life, moss, things like that, to try to create a scene that it's still alive. It's hard painting bones and trying to make it look like something that's not gory or depressing. So that's what I'm trying to work on right now. And these woods draw a lot of inspiration. They're incredibly old. I'm sure nobles hunted for boars and deer in these woods 500 years ago. Now they're filled with bike tires, footsteps of runners, the occasional horse path, and a lot of mud. Mud is a really great thing. It tells the story of evolution. Things walk in there, get trapped, get stuck, and people find them millions of years later. If you have dreams of mud, it's good. It's an ever-changing idea of your life that's constantly in motion, constantly changing, constantly adapting. It'll travel, it'll attract, it'll change, but it's still, in the end, just mud. And after the rains that we've had here, there's a lot of it. Even though I tried to create a story through one painting at a time, and a little environment and a scenery, I think that they're meant to be looked at as a whole. The whole collection gradually tells a very interesting story of coming back into your comfort zone and then departing. I've been asked as to why I paint skeletons by my family, who's incredibly welcoming. But they ask why I didn't create skin or, an actual animal or beast. And honestly, I don't know. I love the texture and the color of the bones when they've been settled in the earth for a while. They gradually turn colors of the minerals that are inside of the dirt. You'll see bones that are completely covered in oxide colors like burnt sienna or yellow ochre, or maybe they were stuck in limestone and they're white. They have that kind of unbleached, shady gray color to them. Or where they're at in the desert where they've just been completely bleached by the sun. I love discovering new soil compositions and new ways that the earth moves and contorts itself. I just visited the opera in Paris the other day, which is entirely built out of marble. And it's the most beautiful marble ever, in all different kinds. You have so many different colors, and it's very unpredictable, you know, what shape they're going to make or how it's going to come out, but they're solid, and they tell a story, an incredibly long one. And eventually, that's where I would like my art to go. I want you to just be able to sit down, look at a painting, and create a story of your own. Imagine what it was like on this world to live with beasts of that size. Or to be a scientist and to discover all these really cool things. I should have been a geologist. But I'm a painter. Living in Rue Malmaison in Paris. And I promise you that I will be able to bring more paintings to you in future time. So enjoy the show, and I'm sure there are other works of art that couldn't grace Frank's walls. You can find them at the Art of Olivia Jupilat on Facebook, and you can also email me. Thank you very much for taking the time out and checking out my work. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Au revoir.